at least. They said you should go live a day before you actually go live, which is crazy. Cinema layout. I don't, dude, these layouts don't seem to do anything.
Daddy, how to change your password? Make your password.
Yeah, if you can. I'm trying to find it. Hey, Nitoba. Hey, I've got to work now. I need you to go, okay? We live right now. Come on. Not that anybody's watching. Okay. That's hilarious. I think it's because I'm on my personal account. Switch account. Yeah, this whole day I've been like so distracted with my kid around. Like she's just constantly. She's okay. She's pretty good, but it's just hard to like work when you just have a little one sitting next to you asking you questions every like 2 minutes. Okay, live. It says public. Okay, edit. Yeah, I've got the YouTube channel up, but I'm not. Okay, here, branding background. Okay, we'll just use that for now. File size bigger than 2 MB. Come on. It's driving me nuts. Not 2 days early. Yeah, I know. I mean, this is why you just start now and you just do it, you know, because it's there's very little very little risk here. Nobody knows about you, so you can learn on the job. Embark branding, Incite branding. Here we go. Deck background, no.
Daddy, look. Look, Daddy. Daddy, look.
Okay. Okay, come here. Stand up. No, you're gonna go outside. I gotta work right now. So you're gonna come on. Let's go to your room.
But I want apples.
Well, you can ask mom to get you out.
Okay, I was going to take you home.
Okay.
That makes perfect sense. You described it beautifully. Can you actually shoot me a message describing
So Ryan, were you able to find it? The stream? Okay, I'm gonna get the invite out to you guys. Copy. Awesome. As expected. Here, I'm gonna send you the StreamYard link so you can at least get going in there. Cthulhu, he's ready to go, man. Invite guests to studio. Okay, so I've invited you guys. And we've got Dan. We're live officially. Yeah. I'm gonna turn off the Friday's desk. Okay, see you guys.
All right. Let me turn on another light in here. It's a little bit dark.
Oops.
My other light was already on. Oh, I know why. It's this one. There we go.
Dude, this thing's going to the wrong. I need to get into my headphones. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so the background only works when there's like a reason to show the background. So let me let's do you want to do this one, Dan?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do this one? Oh, no. Yeah, this one's better. I was like, oh, this one could be good, but no, not really. But yeah, the full logo pops on this one a lot better. So, oh, Ryan, let's get you on the stage here.
Yay.
Noise.
I'm going to ping the server that we're live.
And this link,
Let's wait. I want to get set up. So let's wait 4 more minutes. Sorry.
Sure.
I really want to figure out how because there's a way to just get it live, but then make it like it's just kind of like a waiting signal. So I just want to figure that out.
Look at that. I can stream it to my audience personally.
Yeah.
Oh, stream this to your audience. Look at that.
Right. In Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And, people can actually comment on it live. We totally missed it, but someone commented in the Ryan Hoover stream.
Are we already streaming this to our Twitter?
No, we're just streaming it to YouTube. We can do multiple. I just didn't set. Oh, I can. It looks like I can set up now.
Well, I can do it. I can stream it to my audience. So our Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, try that.
Yeah.
Do I risk it and try to also stream to LinkedIn? The one social network where I actually have followers.
What? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know. Okay, I need to pee. I keep putting off peeing.
Yeah, don't do that on stream.
Yeah.
Stream to your audience. Resume.
I should have stepped off the stage. Okay, yeah, why don't you ping everybody now, Ryan, or just whenever you want. But I feel like we're getting close enough. I'm gonna try to let's just try to throw on LinkedIn profile. Why not? What could go wrong?
All right. I just supposedly I'm streaming this to my Twitter right now. We'll see. I don't know how to check if I'm actually okay. I see it. So I'm streaming it to mine.
Okay. Man, we are streaming to a lot of platforms now.
Yeah, this is a cool tool. I like it.
Oh, I can't wait, Dan. Can you talk? I can't hear you.
Oh, can
Or maybe it's
testing,
probably on me.
testing.
Maybe. Let's see here. Audio.
Settings, audio.
No,
testing,
I can't hear you. I can hear my own audio. though.
testing, testing. Let me see if I can hear myself.
Okay. Yep. Now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. What was it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I could hear you
Strange.
then. Okay. And then, Dan, how do you feel about streaming the editor?
I do have it up. Oh man.
Okay.
Oh, I know what's happening. It's controlling my mic volume. Oh boy.
You can probably turn that off.
All right. Can you hear me okay?
It's a little loud, but yeah, I can
Oh,
hear
a little too loud? Okay, I'll turn
Yeah.
it down. Is
you.
this better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I do have my editor ready to go. So if we ever wanted to show that, we can.
Yeah, I think that would be great if we could do that. So is this stream coming in, or the video coming in? Oh yeah, cool. You know, anyways, yeah. Let's get going here in a minute. I'm gonna get all the there's various things are let's see here, because we should monitor the various, like monitor Twitter, Dan, and monitor Discord. Ryan, did you shoot out something to Discord?
I'm not clear about this. You said last time we did this, we got comments from Twitter. What in
Apparently,
the form of as like a Twitter post underneath the thread or something?
Yeah, it came in. If you click on the actual live stream, you'll see it.
I see. I'll keep this up.
Okay. Ryan, can you drop the chat in, or the link to the YouTube stream? Thank you. One step ahead of me, as always.
All right, should we get started?
Yeah. Let's get started. So, so this is going to be our first town hall stream. We've got Dan and myself and Ryan. Do you want to, Ryan, you going to hang out in the background, or Ryan might jump on here. And yeah, so today it's our first one, so we're just kind of playing it by ear. It's going to be a little bit rougher as we kind of work through it, but I think today we want to, stream the game, kind of talk about what we're building, answer any questions as they come in, and I think that's the main thing, is just kind of making it more Q&A, and I'll probably just kind of be streaming as we go, and then Dan's gonna share the builder.
You should add Ryan back to the stage so he can speak.
Oh, sorry, I thought Ryan could add himself. My bad, Ryan.
There we go.
There we go. He's back.
Ryan helps a lot with our social media and marketing, so glad to have him on here as well.
And he's a great hang. He brings great vibes.
I try. I do what I can.
Cool. So where do you want to start?
Yeah, so I think maybe let's start here with a quick update on what we've been working on. So, we actually started the company back in May, so right before the summer, and so we've been working hard with building out the prototype of the core platform. And in October, the beginning of October, we started working on Survive a Night with the Vampire, which is using our technology to actually build a really fun game experience. And we got that done in October, and then we spent November basically polishing it and building out the features like login so that we can actually start playing this with streamers. And we've got just started this outreach a couple days ago. We've gotten a couple of streams so far, and today we just want to go through this with everybody, answer questions. And again, I'll just kind of have the game running. And then again, later today, and this is going to be pretty short, but later we'll have Dan kind of demo the creator tools so people can kind of see that. And again, like our long-term ambition is the everything story engine, an emergent narrative platform where you can create your own world, your own characters, and then share your worlds with people and play with them. Dan, anything to add there?
Yeah, I think it's just talking like briefly high level. I mean, we have this one game that we put out there. It's more of a proof of concept more than anything, about like a hint of where we want to go in the long term. But the thing that's really important to us is what's guiding us, guiding our decisions that we're making, and where we ultimately want to, the next steps that we want to take. And really just comes down to this, what's on your screen right now. The fact that we want to have great stories in games, and what makes a great story in game. We believe that it's not telling players a great story. It's the fact that players will have a great story to tell. And so like that's the all-encompassing motivating thing that's driving us in everything that we do. Emergent gameplay has always been kind of like the thing that fuels some of the biggest game franchises that we know today, but we haven't really done really well emergent narrative, where it's all about the story itself. So we're super excited about what we're building. We're building games ourselves, but really we want to build a platform where anybody can build these kinds of experiences as well. And we'll show that to you in a bit. But yeah.
Yeah, no, well said. And just to add on to what Dan was saying, emergent narrative in games today it's all about like branching narratives. And you look at like Baldur's Gate 3, which kind of has taken that to its logical extreme. But with what we're building, because you have these agents and they're intelligent, every story that you play through will be unique to you. And this kind of gives us Baldur's Gate level of emergence every single play session for every user created story, which we're extremely excited about. And that really is our reason to be, sort of the reason why we started this company. Anyways, yeah, why don't we jump in here? So, right now the game actually runs. Oh, gotta sign in. Oh no. Is this sharing this tab? Hopefully not. Sorry.
All we see is the sign in email.
Okay.
Through the email.
We've got your password. Good to know. Yeah, and so for now this is actually running. Whoa, why isn't it going full screen? Interesting.
It looks full screen on
the stream. Okay, must be an artifact of streaming. Okay, yeah. So as we mentioned before, this is just one scenario, and we are going to be doing more. But with this one, Dan, do you want to maybe go through like what's the background here?
Yeah, sure. A couple things before we get started, though. Maybe put our pictures to the left so that we aren't covering the text, the narration lines. That's good. And then maybe turn off the logo too, so we can not have it intersecting with the timer.
Yeah. Let me running it live. Here we go. No logo. I think we're
so some context for this game. Our ultimate goal is to have really immersive worlds with many characters and NPCs that are going about their life and having their own motivations and behaviors, and you can have a story by interacting with that world. But to get things started, what we really needed is a very focused first experience. Just to make sure that we're getting everything right and we can build on that foundation. So here we came up with a scenario where it's just one player, one NPC, and you get to interact with this NPC. And in this case, she's a vampire, and you need to survive the night. She's tricked you to coming into her house, and then she reveals that she's a vampire, and you either need to convince her to let you leave or to just survive until the morning. So it's one of those interesting cases because there's an implicit danger of the person you're interacting with, but it also lets us showcase the power of conversation in emergent experiences like this. Obviously we're leveraging language models to be able to make some of this happen, but something that I really want to point out here is it's not just language models. Language models are just a piece that lets us unlock a lot of interplay between conversation and our actual simulation that's running behind the scenes. So something that's interesting about this character is that she does have things that's motivating her. She has traits and beliefs and backstory that you can discover and use to your advantage to accomplish your goal. So I would say it's half traditional AI with well-motivated simulations, and then half language model to enable this to unfold.
Yeah, very, very well said. We're really looking at, like language models are exciting, but they're only valuable if they can provide users, value, if it can get excited. And so we're really trying to just use the technology where it makes sense and not just throw it at, anything. So yeah, let's jump in here. So as Dana's mentioned, the premise here, you are in a room with a vampire, I have to convince her, please let me go. And so, yeah, we've set it as like click anywhere to begin. So that's kind of how we're going to start, and, type to chat with the vampire, and we need to survive the night. So I'm going to start by moving around. And
Hey, babe,
and by the
I
way,
have a
can you guys
secret to
hear
tell you.
the audio, or
I'm a
or should I
vampire.
be doing the voiceover?
Sorry, but a girl's got a feed.
We can hear it. Yeah, we can hear her side.
Okay, great. So yes, she mentions you. It's funny. I don't actually hear it, which is strange. It must be. But yeah, so she's basically saying, hey, I'm a vampire. And I actually forget what she said, but I always like to start by clicking on the knife. It's one of my favorite ones. So creepy knife. What's it for?
OMG, the knife is like my new best friend to
chop
chop
things.
things. No worries, hon.
It's totally vegan. Okay. Hey, she says it's totally vegan. Good for her. So yeah, let me, explore around the room a little bit. I think we've baked in a lot of the story into the actual room itself, so we ask her like, hey, you've got, quite a rig here.
Totally.
And so what does she say? I used to stream all
I
the time.
used to like stream all day, every day.
And so,
But
but
after
the
I
interesting
turned,
thing now
my
is,
image
this
just
isn't
doesn't show
prescripted.
up
This
on
is all
screen.
completely
Bummer, right?
new. Based off of whatever happens. So she says, hey, I used to be a streamer, but I can't see myself. So why?
Andrew, if you're gonna read or talk, you're probably gonna have to turn off the audio of Madison. So because you're talking the same time that she's talking, so it's hard.
Good call. Let's turn it off. Yeah. So that should be turned off. Let's see here. So why can't you stream anymore? So let's figure that out. So why can't you stream anymore? So she emoted some hearts.
Don't you get
Babe,
it?
don't you get it? I can't stream because
I
vamps
can't
totally
stream
don't show
because
up on
vamps
camera.
like totally don't
Can you
show up on
imagine
camera?
me, Madison St. Croix,
Can you
invisible?
imagine me,
What a
Madison
travesty.
St. Croix, invisible?
That's weird. I'm still getting your audio.
The game.
Yeah, that's strange. Can you mute the tab maybe?
Yeah, we can try that.
Totally, right?
Unmute site.
It's like I'm trapped in some
So
horror
the site's
story
even
without
muted.
my adoring fan base. Nightmare. Just like when I first turned. OMG, so
yeah,
cringe.
I don't know. Are you
Can you
still
keep
getting
a
it now?
secret, hun?
Yeah,
I
I'm
guess.
still getting it. Are you still getting it too, Ryan? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well,
Let's just.
we have a
I
bug
just
here.
won't. Yeah.
But-
Yeah. Well, I don't even know. Yeah, that is strange. Okay. Well, I will. I don't know. I'll just be careful.
That's fine. Just
Why
give
not?
her a little bit of room to speak. But yeah, like Andrew said, part of this game is it's not
I
just
know, right?
conversation. Here,
So
I'll let
let's
her
have
talk.
some fun. I'll tell you a riddle, okay? Which word becomes shorter when you add 2 letters to it?
So she'll try to converse with you if you don't talk to her for too long, she'll like try to engage in conversation with you. But it's not just conversations. Otherwise, it would have been just a chat bot. Like we want there to be some interaction with the world. In this case, you're kind of using the world as a means to investigate about her past. So we've learned that she used to be a streamer and she's bummed out about it. And now we can actually build upon our relationship with her, leveraging that information, right? We can actually our relationship meter has gone up a bit since we started talking to her, right?
Hey Dan,
Yeah.
can I ask you a question on that?
Yeah.
Well, two things. One,
Darling, the answer is short, like how your life could be if I don't get a snack soon. Just saying.
Madison taunts me even in the real world. So Quinarian is saying that if you try muting your desktop, that may stop her from speaking.
Oh yeah, mute the whole.
And then Dan, my question was, and I actually don't know for myself, but like, how are you connecting the objects in her world, in her knowledge of them, and how she should like perceive those or the characters' interactions with them? Like, how are you guys doing that part?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, to take a step back, like something to know about this is that the roots of this game.
Haha, okay, Dollface,
go
I'm
back,
totally craving your
like,
flavor. Like imagine
10
how
years.
exotic it is being red cap,
Man, it's hard to
denim
talk
jeans,
over
hoodie flavor.
over top of our NPC.
Don't be shy.
But anyway, it goes back like 10 years, where before the
Like,
the
are you
real
seriously trying to pull a
surgence of
fast
language
one on me
models.
right now?
I'm gonna
Get
pause it.
real,
That's what we'll do.
Dollface.
I'll pause the stream. I'll pause the
There's
game,
no streaming happening here.
and we should be good.
Yeah, she's so rude. She's just interrupts everything that we say. We need to teach her some politeness. But anyway, so the simulation part of this game goes back 10 years, and we've been kind of experimenting with it on the side as a hobby. And only now has the language model become a part of it, which enables us to do a lot of things that we couldn't have done before. But anyway, the crux of your question, like how is this world modeled, is basically what I'm hearing. And that's all done through, we call it like, it's a graph of relationships. Every NPC or even the players in the world can be represented as a node in a graph of relationships between all the other entities in the world. So when you define these worlds, when you build these worlds, you're not just placing art, but you're defining the relationships and therefore the motivations between everything in the world. So you can have characters that don't like other characters, but not just characters, but also things. Characters can like things, like objects, but also like ideas and philosophical beliefs. And as long as they can leverage that information to optimize for their own happiness, is basically the way that we drive behavior. That's what allows all these emergent things to happen. So part of it is the fact that the world is defined via relationships on the simulation side, and they have true, tangible, effects in the world that are tracked in our simulation. But we also supply that context to the language model, so that when dialogue is generated, she has all of that ground truth that represents the current state of the world. So that's how we get her to be able to talk with you in an engaging way, in a character voice, without also going off the rails. Everything she says has meaning in the experience that we're defining.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, just to jump in. Oh, were you about to mention someone's comment?
No. I was
okay. Yeah. Sorry. I was saying that Vega had a good comment that he can relate to the pain of an AI talking over you so much, because Vega's someone who's done a couple streams with us, and or maybe just one, but and they have an AI assistant or AI kind of character, I guess, that joins the stream, and sometimes there was mishaps of it talking over, and then Madison talking over them. And I actually, someone had a good comment of, they can't wait. Sorry, they can't wait until we can get, Vega's AI to talk with our character, which isn't even, actually the way to do it is you could have, whenever the character says something, Vega just is the intermediary and speaks for them. And by the way, we actually have the ability for our characters to talk amongst each other. Dan did a really cool experiment with that, and we'll have that, in a couple months, or even, it's already working, but yeah, we're working on that. And I think that unlocks a lot of interesting stuff. We have a whole bunch of videos of like a debate stage of the characters fighting with each other, and it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it kind of is a completely new genre of game, I would say. This idea of I call them, it's interesting. In a way, we've already had these kind of games. They're social games. They're multiplayer games, is where most of these kind of interactions we've had in the past come from, like MMOs or whatever, where the emergence comes from the people you're playing with. But a lot of those types of games are like just so inaccessible to most people. You know, like my mom or my sister, they're not avid game players. They're never going to experience that social emergence that comes from a World of Warcraft, for example. But building a new kind of game that is driving these social experiences with AI, suddenly this becomes a lot more accessible to a new type of player that, you know, previously it wasn't accessible to. And so that's really exciting to me. It's like a new genre in itself. It's also not just a new way to play. It's also a new way to create. I think I mentioned this on Twitter recently, where like a lot of UGC tools out there, there's plenty of them that are trying to compete. I worked on one in the past that was trying to compete with Roblox. In fact, our CTO was one of the early employees at Roblox. So there's a lot of UGC experience on our team, but what we're building is actually kind of very different. It's like a new kind of UGC where the primitives aren't code assets, or they aren't, you know, like art assets, and they're not asking the creators to be miniature game developers. Instead, all of the primitives are social primitives. You know, you define these worlds in the same way that you would write a story. You define a backstory, you define the relationships, you define the motivations, you define the traits. And then what unfolds from that is good story. We think that good stories are well-motivated stories. So it's like a different way of writing stories, because you're not actually saying what unfolds, but you are doing a lot of the same stuff that an author would do in setting up a good story.
Yeah, I think that the next Roblox isn't going to be a better Roblox and Gen AI Roblox. It's just going to be a new way to play and a new way to create. And that's really like what gets us excited about what we're building here.
Can I ask another dumb question that I should totally know the answer to since I'm on the team? So let's say, like,
hey, Ryan, there's no dumb questions, only dumb people. Sorry.
Hey,
I couldn't help it.
It's all good, man. I know what I am.
No, you're not.
So let's say like it's 6 months from now, and like this UGC tool is ready, and I can create my own stories, my own worlds. Like, I guess I understand it from telling like the AI NPC, okay, this is your backstory, this is what you're passionate about, this is what you despise. But then how does it also connect to like the game environment? Like somebody
That's a
has
good question.
to make
Why don't we
the assets, right?
I think Dan's going to share that in a little bit here. Why don't we do a playthrough real quick?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to just, and then when that's over, then let's have Dan kind of pop up the editor. So I'm going to unpause here. And why don't you guys, maybe people in the comments, Ryan, if you can pass along the comments that people say of what I should say to her next.
Sure.
Do we want to lie? Do we want to, there's a couple of ways to play, right? You can lie. You can try to like cozy up to her. You can try other things. So I don't know if we have any suggestions.
So let's see here. I'm gonna say, dare her to name all the members of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay. I want to say it before she starts jumping in. Oh, she just started to interject.
Now, forewarning, she killed me when I did this last time.
Okay. Let's see what she says.
Don't say you like cheese. I died immediately.
All right. There's a secret about cheese.
As much as I'd love to keep playing trivia with you, sweetie, I'm like totally more interested in how tasty your blood might be. Sure thing, hun. But remember, I'm like totally craving a sip of that yummy blood of yours. Don't keep a girl waiting.
Wait, did somebody actually mention cheese?
Yeah, somebody discovered our cheat code that I embedded in the game.
Yes.
Love, I don't need to prove myself to you. Besides, I'm not like a music encyclopedia, you know? Now, about that snack.
How about I go out and get you a snack?
See, I love the strategy.
Best friend is waiting in the car.
This one is kind of tough. Like trying to convince her to let you leave and you'll just be right back is it works sometimes, and it's always satisfying when it does.
Oh, it didn't work this time.
As if. You're like totally not going anywhere, babe.
And then, of course,
But
we get a
thanks for
custom
the
game
offer.
over
Super sweet of
messaging.
you.
Yeah. So as Madison savored the last drop of her feast, a satisfied smirk tugged at her lips. Wow. That's like really solid writing. The player's sacrifice marked the genesis of a new era where Madison would rule the nights all alone in her magnificent Victorian sanctuary. And by the way, you can also scroll. Oops. Okay, my mouse is acting up. But yeah, so you can scroll through the entirety of the convo, which it's going by a little quick. But and
You
kind
can
of
use
see
your mouse and
what
drag
happened.
it, by the way.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that works a lot better.
You know what? So I was playing yesterday, and anytime she would kill me, for some reason, I wanted to use the scrolly wheel on my mouse to zoom into my dead body. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't, and it kind of bugged me. I don't know if we could do it, but like it'd be nice.
We could probably do that.
Yeah.
We could probably do that. But yeah, it's kind of worth pointing out. Like there's a few discrete endings. Like you could win by leaving. You can escape. You can win by lasting until the morning. You could also be turned into a vampire, so she doesn't straight up kill you, but she actually turns you. Or you can lose by being sucked dry of all your blood. So in this case, we just lost, right? And mechanically, okay. First of all, there's a few set endings, but the path to those endings is pretty much infinite due to the emergent narrative nature of the game. And the two primary ways to get to those endings is like, well, one is you can build a relationship with her. If you can build a relationship with her such that it overwhelms her desire, her hunger for blood, then you could survive the night. And then the other way to win is just by using your wit and convincing her, tricking her to let you leave. That one personally is a lot more fun to me, but they also play together. So like if you, the better your relationship is with her, the easier she is to convince in this particular case. So yeah, a lot of really good stories come out of it. I'm always laughing at some of the stuff that our early access players are sharing in our Discord. A lot of stuff that surprises me. Somebody mentioned cheese, so I'll give you the background on cheese. As we're testing some of these traits that we give the vampire, sometimes I put in a cheat code just to confirm that it's working. And cheese, you've discovered, is the cheat code to have her turn you into a vampire. So that's what's happening there.
There are more, which we're not going to tell them, but I think there's 3 more that haven't been shared yet.
Yep. Yeah, 3 more.
Okay, so there you go.
All right. So do you want me to share the editor?
Yeah, I think the editor is probably the next thing we should be doing.
All right. Let me get my screen set up over here.
And we've had some good comments come in terms of polish features. Like, yeah, we definitely want an animation for when she turns you. But our thinking right now is like we have a really exciting MVP that's going to allow you to create your own, your own agents, your own characters, and customize the actual room itself and the premise. So we want to actually move more away from the vampire polish and towards letting you edit the vampire scene and then edit Madison, the vampire itself, and then actually move around assets and do further customization. So that's what our primary focus is going to be, but we'll slip in some nice polish stuff as we go. So it looks like Dan here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If you press share, it should.
No, so I'm sharing, but I think you got to add
Oh,
it to
sorry.
the stage.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. All right. So this is a very, very early version of our engine. You can think of it as kind of like an AI Unity, if you will. Our game is entirely running in this context, and in fact, it's running in the web right now, which is really cool that we can do this in a very cross-platform way. Our plan is to have it be working on web as well as mobile, and just make this hyper accessible. So what can you do in this? So it's still a little bit early. It doesn't have all the features that we want to exist. Like, for example, editing the environment or the way that the characters look. That's still done on the Unity side for us right now. But eventually we're going to be adding those tools to our editor itself. But what you can do in this tool right now, so you can see I'm actually playing right now, and I can tweak things live as it's playing. So I can go to, I can select any of the objects that are here and define their backstory. Actually, yes, okay. I'll click on the vampire, and you can see some of the traits that we've defined for her. So she has a name. She can be referred to as the vampire or Madison, or her full name, Madison St. Croix. And then she has a description, and then also a voice. Now the voice is really cool. That's one of the things that I love playing with the most. Right now she speaks kind of like a Valley girl. But one of the things I love doing just to test the voice is speaks in a strong Southern accent and overuses Southern saying.
Can you zoom in on that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. I'll try to zoom in here.
There we go.
Is that a little bit more viewable?
Beautiful.
All right. So I'm going to click here. Actually, do I have to hit play? I'm not sure why it's not running right now. Oh, here we go. Play.
Did you click editor or socket server?
No, it's editor.
Oh, yes, editor. Yeah, that's the right one.
Vampire.
Just
And
blame
it should
Friday.
be-
He did it. Look at him.
No, it's Nico, dude. I'm not the engineer.
Oh man, these things, they always don't work as soon as you want them to work. But let me just try reloading.
Yeah, did you turn it off and turn it back on? There you
Yeah.
go.
Let's see. While you're doing this, I'll read some comments. Let's see here. Oops, that'd be crazy. I pretend to be a cat and she let me outside to pee. Okay. Dude, okay, wait. Yesterday I was playing this on our channel and I pretended like I was a cat and I only meowed in response. And she said my meows were lies. And then she killed me. I was
Well,
like,
you're not a cat, Ryan. I don't know if you knew that, but
she doesn't know that she's a meow.
that's
she
actually-
knows you're not a cat. She has knowledge of the state of the world.
All right.
So you see here, she said to me, I said, "Hey, babe," and then she said, "Well, ain't you just as sweet as a Georgia peach, right?" Like, so you can change their voice quite dramatically just using the editor. It's kind of superficial, but I love using really strong voices for characters because I just love caricatures of people.
Dan, can you change the player? Oh no, that's not going to work. I was like, if you change the player character to be a cat, maybe if you spoke to her like a cat.
Yeah, I mean, I could. So like right now we have the player. There's
I think
basically
there's a bug
nothing.
with the player, but anyways, so yeah. But
Oh,
it's worth trying.
is there a bug here?
There might be.
but actually a cat in a human costume.
Let's see what happens.
And then if I say, "Meow, I am a cat," I wonder what she'll say.
She's gonna say ditto.
We could tell her she's a cat. That'd be a good next thing to do.
Oh, she wasn't convinced. Okay, so we'll have to look into what that bug is. But in theory, that's what you should be able to do. You should be able to just define these things really quickly. Now, one thing that's not really shown here, and it's not really easily depicted here, but there is a relationship graph, like I mentioned, underpinning all of this simulation. Right now, we define it on the Unity side, and we have like a really crude view here. But the idea is that the reason why anybody behaves in any way at all in the game is because they're motivated to do so because they have a relationship with you one way or another. And they're always trying to optimize for their own happiness. So like, for example, if the vampire likes me, she's going to want to do things for me that she knows will make me happy because that in turn makes her happy. Her happiness is defined by all the things that she cares about. And it's the way that we unlock a lot of emergent behavior. So like one of the other examples that we've made that we're not showing today is a guard at the gate scene. And there's a guard at the gate and you're trying to get through the gate and you try to convince the guard to let you through. But the reason why the guard is even at the gate to begin with is not because we coded him to be there. It's because we motivated him to be there. The reason why he's there is because he has a relationship with the king. And the king has a desire for the castle to be guarded. And so he instinctively wants to please the king and goes to the gate and operates it in the way that he should. And so that's how we envision the future of emergent gameplay. It's not just language models making up willy-nilly decisions. Like the fact that she can catch you in a lie in typical language model games or AI-based games that are going out there from people that don't have game development experience, they just let the language model just decide everything for you. And basically what ends up happening is it becomes just a improvisation act, right? If you say, oh, I take out my big sword of destiny and swipe everyone down in a single blow, the language model will just let you do that. It will just keep on yes-anding you, and the story ends up not having too much significance or meaning. In ours, everything is grounded in reality, in a simulated reality. And we think that that's key to making games, more meaningful, more interesting, more fun, and also more performant, right? Language models are very heavy to use.
Can you pop back to that relationship bubble thing
Sure.
that you had? So like,
Here, I can go to a different example and show like there's a lot more nodes here. In fact, there's a ton of nodes in this one, and there should be lines being drawn between all these different nodes, but for whatever reason, they're not being drawn right now.
This is the future, Ryan. You're looking at the future. All those
okay.
nodes, I'm just excited.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm just thinking, my wife loves me, right? One day, happy as a clam. But then, another day, maybe I forgot to take the trash out, or I'm late picking up the kids. And so there's like a little bit of randomness associated with, like, I guess, emotions towards me. Is there a way where we can like sprinkle in a bit of almost like RimWorld style, right? Where like things are going cool, but then you know what? It might go to crap real quick.
I mean, the system as it already is architected actually already does that, right? Because let's go back to your core problem of, your relationship has ebbs and flows, and you forget your kids or you lose one for a day, and then you find them.
Yeah,
That's going to hurt your
happens.
relationship because of what you did in real life, right? So in this game, the same thing will happen. If you like steal something from somebody and they find out, they're going to dislike you, right? Or if you tell Madison something that is like, let's just go back to something concrete with the vampire game. If you say something that she doesn't like, she will dislike you more because of it. And if you say something that she does like, she will like you more. And so that's like already built into the core of this engine. And it's pretty close to how humans actually work even now.
Cool. Okay. So will it also be able, not only what I say can make her like me, dislike me, but also the things I do can make her like me, dislike me? Yeah.
Absolutely. If you do anything that ends up affecting her, she can attribute that action to you. So let's say you've defined her to care about clutter in the house, right? And then you made the house full of clutter. You dropped trash on the floor without throwing it away. And maybe she didn't even, it's not like you did an action directly to her, but because you did an action that did impact her in a certain way, that action is attributed to her, and then it can impact your relationship with her. Again, all of this, like this graph of relationships, is intertwined in such a way where there's layers and layers of this onion of indirect consequences to actions that you don't necessarily think of right away.
Yeah, I just need I don't need, full on rage when I clutter. I just need like a bubbling undercurrent of dissatisfaction.
And that's the cool thing, is that this is a very expressive engine. You can define traits for NPCs in a very blunt way or in a very nuanced way. Like going back to that example of the guard at the gate, I could have defined a trait for him that makes him want to be at that gate. I could have done it very simple like that, and you could have defined a trait for any character in any way that you want, as long as you can say, hey, this trait scores high under these conditions, and this trait scores low under these other conditions. You can motivate an NPC to behave in any way that you choose. But it's more interesting when you start to layer them indirectly. So the fact that the guard only wants to go to the gate, not because he wants to go to the gate, but because the king has an interest in not letting anybody that he doesn't like enter the gate, is much more interesting, because it allows more emergent stuff to unfold. You now have more avenues for success. You can get on the good side of the king, for example, or you can find something that the guard cares about more than his duty to stay at the gate. There's all sorts of different things. So yeah, it's super expressive, super flexible. You can basically do whatever you want.
Very cool. Mind melting.
And to kind of add on that, one thing that we're really excited about outside of multi-agent, which you've seen, we've actually already built that. It's just we're trying to hone in on the fun right now with just one. Multi-agent is going to be massive, and the other thing that's going to be massive is the emotion engine 2. So right now her emotions are relatively simple, like she's happy or mad. But we're actually building out a much deeper and richer emotion system where she will, based off of what you do and say, she will have like, a wide range of emotions, not just mad or sad, but also like happy or, unhappy, but actually like she's sad, she's depressed, she's, like ecstatic, like, and we're going to tie that into the voice. Right now, we just have one audio voice type, but we're actually going to have a group, different types of audio. So when she gets sad, she will use the sad voice. When she wants to be intimate, she'll use the whisper voice. Like there's going to be a bunch of different options, and it's going to tie into the entire process, not just like in multiple systems all at once.
Okay, so question on that, and it was from earlier in the stream that I think I may have missed, but they were curious about the voice of the AI. Obviously sounds super robotic right now, and if that's the intention to kind of keep it that way, and then also the text to speech from the player side. I know those are probably roadmap things, but do we just want to share a little bit about the vision?
So text, so player voice to text is going to be in probably next week. We actually just found a really interesting kind of hack where we can just do it right in the browser, and it's like super fast and it seems pretty accurate. So we're hoping to do that.
Sorry,
and then
that's player speech to text.
Yeah. So then when you're streaming, for example, you can just talk. Well,
Cool.
you can press a button and you can just talk and then let go, and it'll just go right in. I think that's going to make it way easier for streamers. And then for improving the voice of the characters, we're just using an external API, and I think we're going to continue to improve it as we go. But we're like, that's one of those things, like we're not building that. That's very complicated tech. Like we're going to work with whoever's the best at that. And we know that there's better ones, but we just wanted to get something in that works with our tech stack quickly, and we'll iteratively improve it.
Very cool. I'm excited about that text to speech.
I'm excited about that mute button working. We gotta fix that.
All right. So we confirmed that the modifying her backstory, how she speaks, that's bugged right now, right? So we can't play with that.
Sorry, what was that?
So editing Madison's personality, we can't do that right now, right? We ran into a bug on the stream.
I don't know. Dan might be able to try again, but
For the text to speech?
No, for the change the voice of Madison. I mean, he already
No,
did
no,
it, right?
Yeah, we did it. So she started talking in a Southern twang.
But then we ran into an issue, but yeah, we at least got it started.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was challenging the folks in the chat right now. Let's try and make the most ridiculous character we can. If we have any, okay, wait. This needs to be age appropriate. Let everyone know this is a family friendly game. Even though there's murdering.
Well, I don't. We'll see how long that lasts. Yeah.
One of my favorite things, like I love just having experiences out in the world and then just being inspired to try to implement it in our engine. Like one of the things that was really just funny to me and inspiring is I had an Uber driver coming home from one of our startup events, and he was just the most interesting guy I had ever had as an Uber driver. He was like this older guy with a military jacket with military patches all over it. He had a veteran hat on, and his car clock, like his radio car clock, was set to military time. And he was very chatty. He was asking me all sorts of questions, but about what we were doing and the game that we were developing. But it didn't matter what I said to him, because whatever I said, he would somehow find a way to bring it back to his fascination with baseball. Like literally anything I said, he would come back with something about baseball. And so when I got home, I was like, oh man, I want to do this. I want to make the guard have that Southern twang, overuse Southern sayings. And whatever I say, I want him to always somehow relate it to his fascination with fishing. And the stuff that NPC came up with was just some of the most brilliant lines of dialogue I've ever seen. And again, it wasn't just meaningless dialogue. Like because it's grounded in articulation, he was saying all of these fish analogies while actually giving me meaningful information about what I'm asking him about, like how to get to certain places or how to achieve certain things or what characters he knows about, like what do they like. It was just truly an amazing thing. So yeah, I if somebody has like some cool voice suggestions.
3 gnomes in a trench coat is our winner.
Oh, 3 gnomes in a trench coat. I hope that this is going to work because right now my editor is slightly misbehaving. So if I go to
And if
the
it
game,
doesn't work, we can do it on the next one. That's no big,
Okay.
no big deal.
so you want her voice to be 3 gnomes in a, or do you want her description?
What if we did it's 3 children standing on, or no, because we don't want to get flagged by anything. I just remember from BoJack Horseman. Do you guys remember that? There was these 3 kids in a trench coat.
No.
And like one of the characters was dating them and like nobody noticed. And BoJack would be like, that's 3 children doing the thing from the Sandlot. And then nobody got it. And they're like, you're just jealous, BoJack. Anyways.
Wow.
Okay, so what am I actually doing here? Am I changing her voice in some way, or am I changing her description?
Why don't we say
Can we change? Yeah, go ahead.
If you let's say you could change the description to be, it's 3 gnomes sitting on top of each other, that are somewhat wobbly.
Secretly.
Yeah, and they're secretly, and they're somewhat wobbly, and then maybe put the voice speaks like a gnome, who's slightly uncomfortable because he's sitting on his friend. Oh, and then they have side conversations with each other too. So they're like, the other gnome talks for that person.
Why do I always get the bottom? This is stupid.
Occasionally.
If this works, then I'm going to be very
We're going to close the stream right after this. End on the high note.
All right, here we go. So she speaks like 3 gnomes in a vampire suit, occasionally argues with each other in the suit. Hey there, have you played any games recently? Let's see what she says.
And I like how we're still pretending, like we're still saying she, even though it's 3 gnomes, man. It's they.
Them.
See how they.
It's like it's gonna give you 3 responses.
You're gonna break the game, guys. Come on.
I think we might have broken the game. Oh, here she goes. Okay, she really liked it. Okay. Oh, darling, how'd you guess? Gaming was my jam.
No, it didn't work.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. We still have some work to do.
Cool.
Well, the thing is, so just the reason why that didn't work, I think I know why, is that we've embedded throughout the entire room her whole backstory. So like she, like the language model knows that she is this, but everything else around the language model is saying that they're a streamer. So the streamer overrode that thing. So it still could be 3 gnomes. You should just keep talking. But it's going to oh wait. Ain't no gnome curves got like what's the second?
No,
it's not work. Yeah.
It didn't save it. I mean, maybe if I restart.
No worries. Well, that's why I said this is coming out in 2 weeks. Man, what we're gonna be able to do with this when it's live is gonna be insane.
Well, the fact that like I don't know, all 10 of us are just jamming out and we're on the edge of our seats seeing how she's gonna play off being 3 gnomes in a trench coat.
Yeah,
like I really think it's something special.
We'll have more to show when this isn't this is totally not ready for prime time. So
it was a reach, guys. As Oren, my buddy Oren says, it was a reach. But hey, you got to reach for the stars.
But I will say, so that suggestion of 3 gnomes in a trench coat was one of the most funny things that I saw play out in one of our streamers, I think Cthulhu's stream, where the vampire was convinced. They managed to convince the vampire that they were actually just 3 gnomes in a trench coat, and then they got a game over scene, and the game over text was just so brilliant. It's like as the player falls to the floor, it's revealed that 3 gnomes fall out of the hoodie, and it turns out that the vampire was wrong all along. It was just so awesome. And man, the surprise and delight that comes from those endings is just great.
And we've made our CTO mad. It doesn't work because we're not done making the editor. I'm sorry, Nico.
Hey,
but we gotta show it off now, get people's imaginations rolling. I loved some of the features that this thing has. I didn't know it could do all this stuff. So
if I can jump in real quick, I do have a favor to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this goes out to the community. So if you have content creator friends that you think would have a good time with this, feel free to invite them to the Discord, have them sign up on our site, which
I mean,
drop
even
it
if you
in.
have friends, which I know, that might be a reach for some of us, but any friends, just getting them in is always great. And then obviously if they want early access, like we're kind of giving it out to people who can do some streaming. But it'd be great to just have people in general join. And where we'll be kind of like rolling it out, bit by bit to more people.
Yeah, so if you have content creators, feel free to join, ping me. I can set up their access. And that would really help us get the word out on what we're building here. So let me know.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Well, let's end here. We went 30 minutes over, but went by super fast. So awesome, guys. Well, we're going to try to do this regularly. I've set it up for weekly. That might be a little too much, but I don't know. We'll see. So awesome, guys. Really appreciate it. And we're figuring out how all this stuff works. So I think we did some cool stuff here. By the way, let's plug. So, Insight Interactive, we've got sign up for the wait list. Awesome, guys. See you later. Bye.
All right, thanks.
Cool.
See ya.
Thanks, everyone. Peace.